Well, grace and peace to you today in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. And we're going to be looking at Psalm 20 today. And as always, as we saw last time in Psalm 19, these are the word of the Lord that brings delight to our heart. And so we get to spend some time in doing something that is more valuable than all the gold and sweeter than honey to our taste buds. It does things for our heart and soul that nothing else can do as we learn of God's great love for us and choose to live in that love. Psalm 20 and Psalm 21 are what is often called royal psalms because they are prayers for the king. When they were written, they were Psalms for King David himself. And they're Psalms of David. So they're Psalms that David wrote. Maybe they were Psalms that came out of his own heart towards God for his own well-being, but then they became Psalms that the people of God would sing on behalf of their own king. And the first part of the psalm is really the prayers that are ushered up, and then the celebration that they share when God answers the prayer in verse 5 there. And then verses 6 down through 8 are really the foundation of why they pray to God. And then it concludes with this final prayer in verse 9. So let's just work our way through it. Psalm 20. To the choir master, a psalm of David. Verse 1. May the Lord answer you in the day of trouble. May the name of the God of Jacob protect you. May he send you help from the sanctuary and give you support from Zion. May he remember all your offerings and regard with favor your burnt sacrifices. May he grant you your heart's desire and fulfill all your plans. So there's the prayer of David and even the congregation, and maybe even more so the congregation, the people of God, for their king, for their anointed leader. And then when God acts, here's the shared celebration. May we shout for joy over your salvation. And salvation, remember, is often used in the Old Testament of deliverance from enemies. May we shout for joy over your salvation, and in the name of our God, set up our banners. May the Lord fulfill all your petitions. And so, man, when God delivers you, we're going to shout for joy. We're going to put up a banner that says, God is great. He delivered our King. And then in 6 down through verse 8 is the foundation of why they pray to God for their king. Now I know that the Lord saves his anointed. That would be a reference to the king. He will answer him from his holy heaven with the saving might of his right hand. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. They collapse and fall, but we rise and stand upright. And the people of God recognize the only hope for their king is the Lord. The only hope that David would be delivered from his enemies, or the people of God under David's leadership would be delivered from their enemies, was because God stood for them and he brought victory over their enemies. It wasn't their military might. It wasn't their horses, and it wasn't their chariots. It was the name of the Lord our God. And so a final prayer. O Lord, save the King. May he answer us when we call. Now there's a couple of applications for us today in how we can use this psalm. We can use it in praying for other people. We can use it in praying for our nations. It is a sad thing when a nation turns to its military might alone to maintain its power and status and freedom in the world. It will fail. And we are probably in a place like that today. And so it's a good prayer, even for our national leaders. And actually that's what we're coming to in 1 Timothy here, praying for those in authority over us. So we can think of somebody and just pray this for them. May the Lord answer Joe or Sally or Sue in the day of trouble. May the name of the God of Jacob protect them. May he send you help from his sanctuary heaven and give you support from Zion, the completed work of the Lord Jesus Christ. May he remember all of your offerings and regard with favor your burnt sacrifices, your faithful following of him. May he grant you your heart's desire and fulfill all your plans. And when he does, we will shout for joy over your salvation, over the way God has provided, the way God has delivered. And in the name of our God, we will set up our banners. We're going to give credit to God for what he does. May the Lord fulfill all your petitions. Now I know that the Lord, Jehovah, Yahweh, saves his anointed, saves his people, saves his followers. He will answer from his holy heaven with the saving might of his right hand. Some trust in chariots and some in horses. Some trust in bank accounts. Some trust in their wisdom. Some trust in their position. Some trust in all kinds of things. But we will not trust in those things. We will trust in the name of the Lord our God. The name of the Lord being a way to capture all of who Yahweh our God is. They collapse and fall, but we, you, the one we're praying for, will rise and stand upright. Oh Lord, save Joe, save Sally, save them from whatever pressure they're in, whatever they are experiencing. May you, God, answer us as we call. So you might think of somebody today and just pray through this psalm for them. You might think of our national leaders, our president, vice president, those that are in Congress, our Supreme Court, our governor, and just pray through this for them even today. Many of them are unbelievers, so we need to be praying for their actual spiritual salvation, not deliverance from situations, but deliverance from the wrath of God that is against them. And so, just an encouragement, go back through the psalm, pray it for someone you know today, pray it for our national leaders. God will bless you and use you because he is a God who answers when we call.